students, and welcome to your online class of biology. Students, this is your fourth biology class, and in today's class we are going to study the last part of the cell structure. In the previous classes we have already studied the first two parts of the cell structure, that is the cell membrane, which is also known as plasma membrane, and the nucleus. In today's class we are going to discuss the last part, that is the cytoplasm. So let's start the class. As you can see here, I have written that cytoplasm is the membrane bound region of the cell, or you can say it is the fluid content of the plasma membrane. Students, we have already studied in the previous classes that if this is a cell, then this boundary lining is the plasma membrane. Okay, this boundary is the plasma membrane which gives the cell a definite shape. The area which is enclosed within this boundary line is known as the cytoplasm. So you can say the cytoplasm is this laminar region of the cell. Now this region is basically a fluid matrix. That's why it is also known as the fluid content of the plasma membrane. Now, if we see this cytoplasm, it is found that the cytoplasm contains some small structures which are required for the survival of the cell, and these structures are known as cell organelles. So cell organelles are the constituents of cytoplasm which are present within the cell, and they are also membrane bound, that is they are also enclosed in the membrane, and their function is to perform some specific functions for cell to support its complicated structure and function. We know that cell has various functions as it is the structural and fundamental unit of life. So the cell survives and performs its own function with the help of these cell organelles. So in today's class we are going to study about some of such few cell organelles. As you can see, the cell organelles, the example of cell organelles are endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, mitochondria, etc. In today's class, first we will start discussing about the endoplasmic reticulum. ER is the abbreviated form of endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum is basically a membrane bound tubule, looks like a tubule or oblong bags. To understand this point, let me show you the structure. This is the structure of an endoplasmic reticulum. So it is somewhat the structure of a tubule, or you can say they are oblong bags which are stacked one upon the other. Okay. Now, endoplasmic reticulum are basically of two types. Either they are rough endoplasmic reticulum or they are smooth endoplasmic reticulum. On the basis of their structure, they have different functions. Now, as you can see here, this endoplasmic reticulum does not contain any additional structure on it. It is completely a plain stack of oblong bags. Okay. So this is the smooth endoplasmic reticulum if it does not contain any additional structure. Okay. So when an endoplasmic reticulum will not have any additional structure, it is known as smooth endoplasmic reticulum. The function of the smooth endoplasmic reticulum is synthesis of fat. Okay. On the other hand, if you find small circular structures on the surface of the endoplasmic reticulum like this, then it is known as rough endoplasmic reticulum. So rough endoplasmic reticulum is basically a structure, or basically a type of endoplasmic reticulum which has additional structures on its surface. And these additional structures are nothing but ribosome. I have already discussed about the function of ribosomes when we were studying about nucleus. There I have told you that ribosomes are the protein factories of the cell. Hence, the endoplasmic reticulum which have the ribosomes on their surface, that is the rough endoplasmic reticulum, synthesizes protein for the cells. Now, this protein and fats are required for building up the plasma membrane. You have already studied that the plasma membrane contains of lipids, and proteins in it, and the protein and lipid which is required for the formation of plasma membrane is actually provided by this endoplasmic reticulum. Apart from that, the endoplasmic reticulum also functions as a channels for the transport of materials. I told you that the plasma membrane helps to transfer many bigger materials like glucose and all from inside of the cell to outside or vice versa. While transferring these bigger molecules, this endoplasmic reticulum acts as the channel which help to make this transfer easier. Alright. Now, next cell organelle which we have is the Golgi apparatus. Named after Camillo Golgi, who was the discoverer of this cell organelle, it contains a system of membrane-bound vesicles arranged approximately parallel to each other called cisterns. To understand this point, let's see the figure again. This is the structure of the Golgi apparatus. Okay, so the Golgi apparatus is also a membrane-bound structure. It is also enclosed within membrane. Okay, and these membrane-bound structures, each structure is known as cistern. Alright, so there are this group of cisterns which are stacked approximately parallel to each other. Okay, so they are loosely bound vesicles which are stacked parallel to each other, and this each vesicle is known as cistern. Now, what is the function of Golgi apparatus? The main function of Golgi apparatus is packaging of target materials. As you know that endoplasmic reticulum synthesizes protein and fats, and apart from that there are many materials which are synthesized near endoplasmic reticulum, and these materials are packed and dispatched to various targets inside and outside the cell through Golgi apparatus. So whatever is formed within the cell is actually packed by the Golgi apparatus. It is condensed. The size of that particular thing is condensed so that it is easier for it to transfer inside and outside the cell. As you know that whenever we are traveling, for example, whenever we are traveling somewhere, we pack our suitcases, we pack our bags, and in that we actually fold our clothes and we actually arrange the things inside the suitcase so that we can put more things, isn't it? Or it is easier for us to carry it. Similarly, whatever thing is transferred inside and outside the cell, it needs to be packed, it needs to be dispatched properly, and that packaging and dispatching is done by this Golgi apparatus. Alright. Now, the next cell organelle which we have is lysosomes. Now, lysosomes are kind of waste disposal system of cell as they digest any foreign materials entering the cell. See, we have discussed many times that our body protects itself. Similarly, the cell also have its own protecting system. So, lysosomes are those protecting system, or you can say waste disposal system. Whenever a foreign material here refers to the things which are not related to the cell, okay, which are not cell's own materials. So whenever something extra or whenever something foreign which is not related to the cell enters to within the cell by chance and can injure the cell or can destroy the cell or can harm the cell, these lysosomes at that time go and kill those foreign materials. Also, as you can see that many things are formed, synthesized within the cell by the endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes and all. So while producing proteins and fats and synthesizing many such things, there are many things which are waste, which are of no use, which are formed along with those useful things. So lysosomes actually identifies those waste materials and digest them. Now how they do digest them? The lysosomes contain very powerful digestive enzymes which help them to digest or break those organic material. Now, the lysosomes are also known as suicidal bags. And why they are known so? When the lysosomes become damaged or worn out, or when they cannot perform any further, these lysosomes burst and kill themselves by their digestive enzymes. And that's why they are known as suicidal bags. So in a way, they also destroy themselves to keep the cell clean. They dispose themselves to keep the cell clean. Lysosomes are usually cellular structure, rounded cellular structure, which is filled with the digestive enzymes, and these digestive enzymes are very useful for breaking down the organic material, with the help of which the lysosomes, you can say, kills any foreign material or kills themselves when required. So in today's class we will study till here. In the next class we will study some more cell organelles. That's all for today, students. Thank you.